Kinseh has almost no warm-up, but I'm pretty sure he was playing earlier and then must have just forgot and hopped off. So he's probably warmer than it looks. Luckily, Robo grabs Kinseh last second. We got day 3 at a Feer 500. Kinseh versus Robo. Last time Kinseh and Robo played on stream, Kinseh took it in a 3-0 and was very dominant, but it was actually pretty spicy as both these guys were talking a little bit of smack to each other. It started out all fun and games, but towards the end of the series, it seemed like there was a little bit of juice behind it. Not just messing around, so we'll see how this one goes today. Both these guys have played one series so far in the Feer 500. Kinseh took down Sharp in a 3-2 bout, and Robo was defeated by Drees 3-0, so Robo's looking for his first game win, as he's yet to see one. And Kinseh's looking to get a little bit more distance between himself and the other winners, as right now he's sitting at the bottom of the winners leaderboard, because he's the only one to have not swept his opponent in the first day. Kinseh just dropped his controller, but Robo misses on a wide open opportunity in net. We've seen a real carefree style from Kinseh as of late, but whatever works for him. And it has been working for him for the past many times he's been playing on stream. He gets a nice bump to stop out an attack from Robo. 12 boost from him. His flick is not going to find the mark, but he's going to be able to start some boost starvation. Robo's been known for his defense. I would say his goalie abilities are almost unmatched, even compared to these top-level guys. It's just that his offense doesn't quite hold up on the other end to make up for it. All these draft parties with 10-plus people. Say what? Robo going up early here, 3-1. Kinseh played. We didn't have any games Tuesday because of the RLCS qualifiers. Kinseh was playing with a team. I forget what they called their name. I think it had the word Kevin in it. But he was playing with Luke and Rodoko. I think they made it pretty far, at least a couple series off of making it, but did not quite. I'm not sure if Robo made a run at the RLCS or not. It sounded so weird coming out of my mouth, but that was right. RLCS, Rocket League Spring Series. Robo's up early, 3-1. Might be due to him being a little bit more ready for this matchup than Kinseh, but Kinseh is going to get a second goal here. Bring himself within one. Let's go, Kinseh, says only Ray. Kinseh is the fan favorite on the stream, if you don't already know. Nice bump here off through the flick. He's going to tie it back up. I have a feeling once we see Kinseh get warm here a little bit, he might be able to take this one away. Everybody here at home, not watching the NFL draft, just watching all alone, correctly social distancing. Sounds like that's what only Ray's upset about. 3 minutes into this one, and Robo's got to feel good about where he's at, as he's now only down 1. But Kinseh is certainly an opponent that can blow these games out, and by all means is the favorite in this matchup. We've yet to see a player who was invited to the league lose to a player who had to qualify, so if we wanted to change that today, Robo would have to pull out the series win against Kinseh. Another near miss by Robo. Robo really needs to be finishing on these opportunities that he definitely is capable of. But a counterattack from Kinseh, and these are the kind of things when you're trying to pull off an upset that you can't afford to miss out on. Those slight inches, you need to be firing on all cylinders. Kinseh is going to go up 2, make it 5-3. Early in this game number 1 of this series. Kinseh might be taking it to the sky for the first time in this one. Trying to get a little bit of a pogo at the last second, and it seemed like that was not a good enough shot to get past Robo. We'll watch this again from Robo's perspective. He's normally so good in the goal. A little bit of a pogo, but not much. And Robo just giving a little bit too much respect for Kinseh's dribble. Definitely should have challenged earlier than that. But he ends up trying to catch a backflip on his goal line, and Kinseh's going to go up 6-3. Kinseh not letting Robo keep going here at all, keeping the pressure on despite being up 3 goals. He's finally going to give some space, and Robo's going to try and power shot it all the way past it, and he does. This did not seem like the right call. When Robo went for the shot, it felt like Kinseh was going to be able to get there. Oh, Kinseh just a slightly too sharp of a turn after grabbing that boost there. Wasn't able to readjust and make it back in time. And really good placement from Robo to get that 4th goal. Nice boxing out from him, too. Going to be able to grab ball possession and boost, but Kinseh's just scared him into handing over the ball. Lucky for him, the power shot is too high. He's able to take back control. No boost, but he's able to grab the boost far on Kinseh's side. The counterattack will be too fast, though, for him. Those 50-50s deep in the opponent's corner are always so risky, leaving open the opportunity for a strong counterattack. Robo, after going up 3-1, has now seen a 1-6 turnaround for Kinseh. And absolutely just stealing the ball off the top of this dribble is Kinseh. Robo waiting way too long. Far too predictable when the ball has to take that much time to come back down on top of his roof. Kinseh makes the read. Robo's had a rough go of it the beginning of the season. Nice slow dribble. Kinseh just letting Robo take it all the way in front of his net. Just waiting on the goal line. A little bit of a wave dash. And a 50-50 in front of the net ends up getting him his 5th. Not sure who's had the toughest time in their first couple games as far as the schedule goes. Robo having to face Drees and now going up against Kinseh is pretty bad, but might not be as bad as the player we have next, who is Sharp, having to first play against Kinseh and will be later playing against Mile. But Robo closing the distance here. Nice dribble, cutting it back to the right side of the field behind the defender to get his 6th goal. Going to need to keep up this momentum to make it back in the next 40 seconds. Kinseh taking control off the kickoff is not a good sign for that. Robo's going to hit it hard, and Kinseh's going to once again play defense on his goal line. This time it works out for him, as Robo's shot goes wide. The past few times it hadn't. Trying to get a pinch here. Maybe not a nice enough setup to get any power off of it. 13 seconds left, and Robo has to put on something quick. He can't afford to just wait, and I thought Kinseh had left the goal open enough, but turns out he had baited Robo perfectly into flicking, putting a shot on net that he could save. This chip shot is going to get doubled by Kinseh, and he's going to go up 6-9. Can we get some 69s in chat for the perfect game here? Kinseh is going to go up 1-0. Oh, thank you, the Arctic Days. You're a lifesaver. This might be the first time we'll have more people watching it on YouTube than live. Robo's back, Kinseh's in. Game number 2 going as expected. Kinseh going down early, but coming back and maintaining a large lead. Robo's going to take the first possession of this game number 2. A nice air dribble from him, something we didn't see him do all first game, and he looked like he got a good change of direction on that at the last moment, but Kinseh sets himself up well enough to get the save. Pop off the backboard with 0 boost, and Kinseh's just trying to keep Robo out of the net now. He's able to grab his 100, and Robo trying to get a nice low 50-50 is unable to. Little 360 flick, ends up not pulling the trigger, just using the wave dash, and that ball's going to go wide. But a wide open net. Robo leaves here. These wall challenges are so dangerous in 1v1 so frequently. We seem to be finding defenders caught out because they're playing up on the wall. Something so useful in 1s and 2s to try and cut off angle. Oh, sorry, in 2s and 3s to try and cut off angles. But in 1s, not so much, as a simple pop kind of leaves you completely stranded. So hard to recover off of being out of position on the wall. But a simple pop here from Robo, as you noticed Kinseh was challenging early on his air dribbles. He's able to flick it over him. Tie this one back up. Robo, good speed here on this counterattack. Not quite good enough to make it into the net, but should be able to start the boost starvation game. Kinseh has done a really good job of grabbing the pads. So he's going to set up a soft shot for himself, but is not able to get around the ball fast enough. So boost and possession will go to Robo as he starts to dribble here. This time Kinseh shadows instead of challenging early, and Robo kind of loses the ball there, surprisingly. The shot goes in. Robo with the 360, another jump here, ends up not flicking it at all, and Kinseh just gets kind of caught in a daze watching the 360. Update the score. Yes, I will do that. Thank you. I will do that in a moment here. Next goal, we'll update it. Robo, shot off the post, does get Kinseh in the air. We'll see if he can keep the pressure on here. 12 boosts, and this might be an all-in type situation, unless he's able to get a nice enough shot like that, forcing out the tough save. He's got the 100, so he should be able to maintain control here. Opportunity to power shot. Put it in the one spot that Kinseh actually was, but hits it strong enough that it still ends up going in. Let me come update this score. Kinseh up 1-0. We sure do like the nice little app that was given to us by Bobsto. Makes it possible for us to update it that fast. But once again, the exact same scoreline we saw in game number 1, with Robo going up early. Kinseh found his way. Kinseh thought he'd have an opportunity to take a dribble away from Robo here. Thought Robo was setting himself up for an easy counterattack, but Robo did find the angle to get it in the net. Something that I noticed these guys do in these private matches is leave their team and join back in after they've been scored on, as like a little bit of a rage tactic. Either that or this thing is bugged and their cars explode for no reason. But Robo changing history a little bit, goes up 4-1. Kinseh finds his second goal. Early backflip challenge from Robo. And Kinseh's air dribble ends up being the perfect recipe to get it over that. Halfway through this game, still down 2. Robo putting this ball in the corner though. Kinseh, nice catch to maintain possession. Little toss off his own back wall. He gets control. Power shot against the back wall. Seems like he's just going to be giving away the ball to Robo. Interesting decision to slam it off the back there instead of trying to hold on to it. Robo with no boost, and Kinseh's not worried. Forces him to put up a flick and takes it away easy. Almost a breezy setup, but a demo will be the reason why he eventually gets it in. Within 1 now. Looked like a breezy setup and ended up flying past it and used the flip to get that extra speed to crush Robo. Kinseh, low boost situation off the kickoff, but refuses to leave the ball. Something that he used to be so widely known for. His just constant monkeying style. Nowadays, we don't see people complaining about that quite as much as they used to when they go up against Kinseh. Maybe because they expect to lose now, but back in the day when Kinseh was breaking some hearts by upsetting some people, they had some words to say on how Kinseh would never ever leave the ball. Nice setup from Kinseh. Just maybe threatening the flip reset despite not getting it, taking it low. He's going to tie it back up here. Robo cannot seem to cling on to these early leads. Definitely doing a better job of it this time, though, as he was a centimeter away from getting a good attempt, but now Kinseh will be able to take it easy down to the other side of the field. These are the kind of differences between these top-level guys and the guys who just cannot find a way to beat him. Robo on a great attack, but just a centimeter of a miss is the kind of miss that Kinseh just isn't getting. He sets up a nice air dribble for himself. He's going to have a hard time getting back around this one. Has to use the flip reset just to not set Robo up for an easy shot, but Robo will still get that easy shot. As Kinseh ended up not having the first touch he wanted. Nice little 90-degree wave dash there from Robo to catch back up to the ball. Somebody was asking before the stream, as Arctic Days, before we started here, about how good Robo was, saying that they'd never heard of him. It's so interesting to watch a player like Kinseh potentially, you know, do so well against Robo, when Robo is just very good player. I mean, he will make the majority of people who play this game look silly. But right now he's going up against one of the people who could stop him. But 22 seconds left, and he's going to go up 6-5, and that's the kind of rage leaving the team that I'm talking about. Kinseh really, in the long run, if we look down the future of the Feer 500, you would certainly expect him to be on the upper end of the standings here. So every game is going to matter for him, and Robo is going to get a flip reset to just pass the ball back over to Kinseh. I'm not sure he should be going for dangerous stuff like this. He needs to try and secure every last win he can get. But he goes for an exotic flip reset that he has yet to go for all series, while up one with 20 seconds left, and that is going to tie it back up. But he gets the possession. Heading into overtime here. Nice flick, and that will be game number 2 for Robo, as he pops it over Kinseh and ties the series up 1-1. Hope Robo wins. Robo winning would certainly be an upset. Mile, what's going on? Mile, someone who's going to be fighting for the top of the league, like Kinseh is, can certainly understand why he would want to see a Robo victory today. Headed into game number 3. Kinseh versus Robo. Robo's already done more than maybe what's expected of him, based on how he played against Kinseh earlier on stream. Just the general resumes of both these guys. Robo doing well in game number 1 and 2. Game number 1 ended up falling away from him at the last moment, but he did lead for a good portion of it. In game 2, he kind of controlled the whole time. Kinseh was playing from behind most of the times there, almost completely tossed it away with a 4 flip reset. But Robo winning the kickoff in overtime, and a nice pop above Kinseh gave him that last goal. Kinseh's there at the last moment to keep this one out. A little bump action from Robo. He is going to be able to find the back of the net, as he's able to pester Kinseh just enough, who had no boost. He gets around this one. Kinseh electing to not jump up for the challenge, or at least not jump up early. that will be the difference. Nice long shot here from Kinseh. Another wall challenge going wrong for Robo, the juicer. Just thinking he can get to these balls faster than you really can playing off the wall. The wall is such a dangerous space. In the 1v1 arena, you only want to be going up to the wall when you know you're going to be getting that touch. So hard to recover when you get beat out there. I'd say not a great first touch again to set up his air dribble. Robo's going to take a power shot in midfield. He's going to force out a tough save. He will be able to grab Kinseh's back boost, but a strong enough save means it'll be a full reset anyways. A roller from Robo. These two guys are just playing merry-go-round here as they just slap the ball counterclockwise for many laps in a row. Finally, it gets broken up here in front of Kinseh's net. Kinseh, nice opportunity here. Good flick from him is stopped out. Robo, known for stopping out tough shots, but only when he's in net. Absolutely should have been scored on here, but might end up getting a counterattack. I'm surprised that Robo didn't go for that ball immediately. Felt like he didn't need to steal the 100 boost and still could have taken a shot that was unsavable, but these guys know what they're doing, and he tries to keep Kinseh off the boost. Doesn't quite succeed in turning anything out of it. Kinseh's going to put a long arcing shot going for quite the exotic bump. There's almost no chance of something that crazy working. And he's not quite able to get back. And Robo will hit the counterattack. A dangerous play from Kinseh is punished. Those air dribble bumps, or the double jump pop bump that we see Night Owl do so often, only works because you're so close to the ball, so easy to predict who the opposition's going to be. Kinseh in that situation trying to predict with the ball miles away from him, and was not able to get inside of Robo's path. But game number 3, so far advantage Robo. Kinseh is going to get the second goal here to bring it within 1. He's got 2 minutes left to try and avoid Robo being 1 game away from an upset. Kinseh admitted that he's been having less fun playing ones as of late. Understandable from these guys trying to make pushes in the RLCS or RLCS. You need to be so focused on threes. Nice 50 from Kinseh. Another situation where Robo, maybe not quite on the wall, but close to the wall, and these wall plays not really working out for him. Yet again, he finds himself in a tough spot and is going to get in a third goal. Kinseh taking control. Trying to make this look like game number 1 where Robo leads early, but he takes over in the last couple minutes. Getting his first lead of game number 3. Setting up an air dribble here. This time a good first touch. He's going to put himself in a good spot. Got in front of the ball to get the bump, but wasn't going fast enough to actually displace Robo at all, so Robo just popped him back up and forced him to save it. Nice shot from Kinseh off the wall to get that quick chip and get the speed behind it to get that counterattack. It is not easy to shoot as early as Kinseh does here. If it took him even one more moment to get that ball on net, it would not have worked. Nice kickoff win for Kinseh. Gonna give him possession here off the corner. Electing to not touch the ball, whether he did on purpose or not, seems like it's probably a good decision, as that shot would not have been going in, would have left himself in a bad spot. Better situation for him to just leave the ball. He's going to get a demo, and all of a sudden this game looking like it was dominated by Kinseh despite the first 3 minutes. Really had Robo controlling it. But he's up by 2 times Robo's score with 44 seconds left to go. Kinseh looking like he put his 7th one on here. He's secured himself going into game number 4 on match point. Back to being in full control of the series. But every game counts. Even if Robo ends up losing this one, which it looks like he will, and the next one. I imagine the situation where he grabbed 1 game from Kinseh might put him in the playoffs for all we know against some other players who might not be as lucky to get one against him. Robo all of a sudden making this game looking like it was close. I'm not sure he has enough time to put 2 kickoff goals in here, although 2 seconds might be enough for each one. Kinseh is finally gonna spice it up, say, I don't even want to risk it, fake kickoff. Securing this game number 4, he's gonna go up 2-1. Game number 4, game number 3, 2-1. Going into game number 4. There he is, he's here. Took him a bit, but he's back, and we're into game number 4 of Kinseh versus Robo. Kinseh takes game number 2. Sorry, Robo takes game number 2, and Kinseh takes game 1 and 3. So Kinseh put himself on match point. Could absolutely afford to have every game he could get. Nice shot from Robo. Robo's been taking the early lead in every game here so far. Robo threatening the musty, and then just before he knew it, it was too late for Kinseh to make a play in net. I don't know why it is that Robo seems to be in the zone at the beginning of each match. Kinseh's going to drop it under a nice slow play, something that people don't expect from these high-level guys. Trust me when I say that he is playing this slow on purpose to make it under Robo. I know for some of us that just looks like the strongest hit we can possibly make, but that is just not the case for these guys. Constantly playing the mind games. We'll see if Kinseh can get up early in one of these games here. Nice bump from him is going to secure his 2nd goal here. This time his bump works because he waits for that ball to come down low and knows that he's close to where the ball actually is. That's when you're actually going to connect on those irritable bumps. Not like what he tried earlier when he tried to snipe Robo out of the air when the ball was basically just barely coming off the ceiling. Kinseh slamming it off the wall. It's going to be an easy save from Robo, but Robo's actually setting Kinseh up pretty nicely here. Robo's done well to hold on to his 42 boost despite the starvation from Kinseh. Kinseh uses his flip early with good reason too, as he barely gets behind that ball to stop a Robo counterattack. Robo keeping these shots out of his net over and over and over again, but eventually something's going to crack or not. Maybe Kinseh will be the first to crack as Robo does successfully stop out that attack, but he's going to find himself playing defense yet again. As Kinseh did well to hold on to his boost. Good placement from him. We'll put him up 3-1 here. Robo just giving up so much space. A little bit lost on what boost he wanted to be grabbing. And picked that far corner boost just a little bit too late. Kinseh uses that open opportunity to sneak it just barely past him. Kinseh in control of game number 4. Gonna put on a nice musty off the kickoff to go up 4-1. We've yet to see him really take over a game. Not like the last time he played Robo, when Robo got him fired up a little bit. Although, to be fair, I think actually Robo kept a couple of those games a little bit closer than we would have thought that time as well. So maybe Robo knows what it takes to go up against a player like Kinseh. But he's going to have to turn it up a notch just a little bit here. 3 minutes left. This touch is a good one. He should be able to corral a good shot on net. Kinseh finds a way to get around it. Nice backflip attempt, and Robo will not be able to continue it. Tried to sneak a demo, but a well-timed jump from Kinseh, and then a good flick to keep Robo from getting the ball here, and a fake from Kinseh will make one more goal for him. Robo setting himself up, grabbing the boost, needed to stop out the potential pop that Kinseh was going to put up in the air. So he pre-jumps for that early, but Kinseh was just faking, and he lets it roll over him. Up 5-1, Kinseh's had enough. Finally performing like what was expected of him. He's going to keep this simple pop out of his net. Able to hold on to 100 boost himself here. Kinseh setting up another attack from his own half. Taking this off the wall, not able to stay around it. Should be get counterattacked here. Kinseh plays it slow though. Had too much respect for Robo's speed. Thought he'd be back for the early challenge, or so the fast power shot, so he tried to play it slow. And that did not work out for him. Robo maybe going for a kind of pogo stick off the ground freestyle type situation there with that air dribble, but did not connect. Kinseh thought about going up, but made the correct read that ball was coming straight to the ground. I thought he just decided not to risk it, but instead he just made the perfect read. He realized that thing was water falling down right in front of the net. He's going to put himself up 5 with 1:47 left. And we'll see if he ends up beating himself up over that game number 2 this series. Certainly a player we expect to contend for one of the top 2 spots for that guaranteed $60. And to not have to play in the first round of the playoffs. He is going to set up a Brazil here, though. Robo not wait. Oh, just a huge whip. I was so confused there. I was wondering how this one went in. Wasn't paying full attention, but I thought Robo had got there in time, and he did. Just a big ol' whiff. Flying by the ball after getting the demo. Robo should be able to get a nice long shot here. 7-2. Robo has been able to make it look interesting. Even the games he's lost, he seems to close the distance in the last few moments. With 1 minute left and 5 to go. It will take a good pace from him if he wants to make this one interesting, and this is the kind of pace he needs. He puts on another 3rd goal here. .50 at midfield. Kinseh tried to use the last of his boost to tap it towards net, and Robo actually gets around it, and that soft touch ends up being the right save. Keeps that ball from going out to mid where Kinseh can make another attack. Kinseh's gonna chip it up to himself. Nice air dribble from him. Once again, Robo slaps Kinseh into the ball in order to save it. A nice demo from Kinseh. Seems like he probably could have turned the ball right around and scored an easy 8th goal, but instead he's going to go for something fancy. A little pass to himself off the wall, forces a tough save. Robo is able to jump over the demo, whether on purpose or just conveniently on accident. Somebody tell Only Ray that Kinseh was collecting that boost without turning off ball cam. The musty setup from Robo is not good enough, but he is going to come out with one game, which might end up being the difference for him coming down the line. Kinseh is going to win 3-1. There he is, he's here. Took him a bit, but he's back, and we're in the game. Number 4 of Kinseh versus Robo. Kinseh takes game number 2. Sorry, Robo takes game number 2, and Kinseh takes game 1 and 3. So Kinseh put himself on match point. Could absolutely afford to have every game he could get. Nice shot from Robo. Robo's been taking the early lead in every game here so far. Robo threatening the musty, and then just before he knew it, it was too late for Kinseh to make a play in net. I don't know why it is that Robo seems to be in the zone at the beginning of each match. Kinseh's going to drop it under a nice slow play, something that people don't expect from these high-level guys. Trust me when I say that he is playing this slow on purpose to make it under Robo. I know for some of us that just looks like the strongest hit we can possibly make, but that is just not the case for these guys. Constantly playing the mind games. We'll see if Kinseh can get up early in one of these games here. Nice bump from him is going to secure his second goal here. This time his bump works because he waits for that ball to come down low and knows that he's close to where the ball actually is. That's when you're actually going to connect on those irritable bumps. Not like what he tried earlier when he tried to snipe Robo out of the air when the ball was basically just barely coming off the ceiling. Kinseh slamming it off the wall. It's going to be an easy save from Robo, but Robo's actually setting Kinseh up pretty nicely here. Robo's done well to hold on to his 42 boost despite the starvation. Kinseh uses his flip early with good reason too, as he barely gets behind that ball to stop a Robo counterattack. Robo keeping these shots out of his net over and over and over again, but eventually something's going to crack or not. Maybe Kinseh will be the first to crack as Robo does successfully stop out that attack, but he's going to find himself playing defense yet again. As Kinseh did well to hold on to his boost. Good placement from him will put him up 3-1 here. Robo just giving up so much space, a little bit lost on what boost he wanted to be grabbing, and picked that far corner boost just a little bit too late. Kinseh uses that open opportunity to sneak it just barely past him. Kinseh in control of game number 4. Gonna put on a nice musty off the kickoff to go up 4-1. We've yet to see him really take over a game. Not like the last time he played Robo, when Robo got him fired up a little bit. Although, to be fair, I think actually Robo kept a couple of those games a little bit closer than we would have thought that time as well. So maybe Robo knows what it takes to go up against a player like Kinseh. But he's going to have to turn it up a notch just a little bit here. 3 minutes left. This touch is a good one. He should be able to corral a good shot on net. Kinseh finds a way to get around it. Nice backflip attempt, and Robo will not be able to continue it. Tried to sneak a demo, but a well-timed jump from Kinseh, and then a good flick to keep Robo from getting the ball here, and a fake from Kinseh will make one more goal for him. Robo setting himself up, grabbing the boost, just needed to stop out the potential pop that Kinseh was going to put up in the air. So he pre-jumps for that early, but Kinseh was just faking and he lets it roll over him. Up 5-1, Kinseh's had enough. Finally, performing like what was expected of him. He's going to keep this simple pop out of his net. Able to hold on to 100 boost himself here. Kinseh setting up another attack from his own half. Taking this off the wall, not able to stay around it. Should be get counterattacked here. Kinseh plays it slow though. Had too much respect for Robo's speed. Thought he'd be back for the early challenge, or so the fast power shot, so he tried to play it slow. And that did not work out for him. Robo may be going for a kind of pogo stick off the ground freestyle type situation there with that air dribble, but did not connect. Kinseh thought about going up, but made the correct read that ball was coming straight to the ground. I thought he just decided not to risk it, but instead he just made the perfect read. He realized that thing was water falling down right in front of the net. He's going to put himself up 5 with 1:47 left. And we'll see if he ends up beating himself up over that game number 2 this series. Certainly a player we expect to contend for one of the top 2 spots for that guaranteed $60. And to not have to play in the first round of the playoffs. He is going to set up for Brazil here, though. Robo not wait. Oh, just a huge whip. I was so confused there. I was wondering how this one went in. Wasn't paying full attention, but I thought Robo had got there in time, and he did. Just a big ol' whiff. Flying by the ball after getting the demo. Robo should be able to get a nice long shot here. 7-2. Robo has been able to make it look interesting. Even the games he's lost, he seems to close the distance in the last few moments. With a minute left and 5 to go. It will take a good pace from him if he wants to make this one interesting, and this is the kind of pace he needs. He puts on another 3rd goal here. (50-50) at midfield. Kinseh tried to use the last of his boost to tap it towards net, and Robo actually gets around it, and that soft touch ends up being the right save. Keeps that ball from going out to mid where Kinseh can make another attack. Kinseh's gonna chip it up to himself. Nice air dribble from him. Once again, Robo slaps Kinseh into the ball in order to save it. A nice demo from Kinseh. Seems like he probably could have turned the ball right around and scored an easy 8th goal, but instead he's going to go for something fancy. A little pass to himself off the wall, forces a tough save. Robo is able to jump over the demo, whether on purpose or just conveniently on accident. Somebody tell Only Ray that Kinseh was collecting that boost without turning off ball cam. The musty setup from Robo is not good enough, but he is going to come out with 1 game, which might end up being the difference for him. Coming down the line, Kinseh is going to win 3-1.